सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Towards the last part of this Upanishad, there is only reaffirmation of what has already been said, with few more strokes of perfection, precision in teaching. Our Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda used to say that whenever an individual who is a painter wants to give his perfect contribution or creation, he will often go behind the picture he has already painted and will come back again, correct the minute parts of the picture or the painting, and again he will go back, again look at it carefully, come back and correct it. In the same way, here the teacher, having imparted most of the knowledge to Nachiketa, he is fine-tuning it to make sure there is no ambiguity while sitting for meditation. When we listen to any lecture, we are first of all passively listening to it, because there is enough of ignorance or impurity that will make us get distracted here and there. But once the student takes interest in knowing it, even then only partial listening is taking place, because other part of the intellect is doubting it. While listening also, is he telling the right thing or is just bluffing here? Or is it that is relevant to me? So there is a part of the intellect is questioning it already. So only when one has complete Shraddha in scriptures, in the teacher, then the attention is, I would say, even 80%. Because unless devotion to Bhagavan is there, it won't be 100%. So therefore, here the teacher coming back again and again to reaffirm certain things which he has already said. That is why we saw in 13, Nityo Anityanam, eternal among the ephemeral, Chetanaha Chetananam, it is this consciousness among all conscious things, Ekaha Bahunam, one among the many, Yaha Vidadadi Kaman, Pradadati Vidadati, he distributes all that is desired by the individual. Tam Atmastam, the one which is Atmani Sthitam, within oneself. Yaha Anupashyati, those Anupashyati, Pashyanti, those who see it clearly, Dhiraha, Tesham, for them alone, Shashvati Shanti, eternal peace, na itaresham, not for anybody else. Though Nachiketa did not ask for Shanti or anything, he asked the question, is there anything beyond death? What is beyond dharma and adharma? What is beyond past, present and future. What is beyond effect and cause? He never asked for amrutatvam, he did not ask for shanti or sukham. But yes, sir, the result of this knowledge, what one gets is the eternal peace, immortality, and liberation from the endless cycle of birth and death. So again here, in the next verse, he is reaffirming that. Tadetadidi manyante anirdeshyam paramam sukham katam nu tat bijaniyam kimu bhati vibhati va yat tat. Yat, that which is that. Etat. Etat means this. Tat is that. Etat means you are coming closer to. Avan, even in Tamil. Avanu, ivanu, Kannada. Telugu I do not know. Adi, idi. Okay. Wo, ye. Right? So a is added, then it is etat. This one, etat is not, is neuter, no doubt. Atman is not male or female. Thank God. Very clear. Atman is neuter. Etat idi manyante. Manyante jananti, those who know. Manyante means those who come to understand very clearly. And it is anirdeshyam, indescribable. This is to show, dishati. Upadesha, you know the word upadesha. Upadishati iti upadesha, where a person is indicating to you something very closely, coming to you and say, look at that way. So that is upadesha. Nirdesha is explanation. Sorry. Nirdesha means where there is no explanation possible. Nidesha. That it is not possible for you to indicate it in any way. Inexplicable. What is that? Paramam sukham. That true shanti, eternal peace is not something which is just the absence of dukkham. Our understanding of sukham is what? Where there is no pain, there is no sorrow. That you experience even in sleep. Why do you go to all the way to learn Vedanta? Arey baba, मैं सो जाऊंगा बस. That's what many people do even in Vedanta class. What you are talking, we are experiencing. So, paramam sukham. So, how do we know? Katam nu vijaniyam tat. How do we know that whether it is kimu bhati vibhati va? How does it shine? How does it express itself? What is the nature of its prakashatva? Kimu bhati deepyate vishayan. Is it available to us like vishayavat? Like an object, is it available for us to perceive and experience or not? We want to know whether it is really perceivable, knowable, because otherwise how do we know? Somebody will ask, if you say one has realized the truth and he is not able to explain it, how do we know? If you say, I slept well, how do I know? You slept well? Yes. How do I know? It's my experience. So this man of realization also, when he comes to experience it, how, even though it is, earlier also we saw that it is not possible for na vacha, na manasa, jnatum shakyate, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, yat vacha anabhyudatam yena vagabhyutate, yat chakshusha na pashyati, yam manasa na manude, yat shrotrani na shrunoti. All these things, it is not possible. Kimu? How do we know whether it is available to us like an objective experience or not? There comes the most famous verse, which we all chant every day without paying attention. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. This we chant while offering the deeper to the Lord, and also when we invite a Mahatma, and there we also offer this light and say this or chant this. Tatra na surya bhati. It is not an object that can be shown even by the sun. Tatra, there, where in that great state of total abidance, na surya bhati. Sun cannot shine there. Oh, it is so dark. Sun even can't shine there. No. Na chandra tarakam. Even the moon and the tarakam and the stars cannot anywhere shine it. If you go to Hollywood, you see lot of stars there. But here in the Mahatma, even the stars cannot shine there. Even the lightning cannot shine there. Na vidyutaha bhanti. The lightnings, plural, they are also, lightnings here can be taken as, in our context, even the LED lamps cannot do that. And while showing thus in a light which is made of probably camphor, kutaha ayam agnihi. Kutaha, how and what way? Kutaha, no? This Agni, fire, little one, how can it shine? But what else we can do? That is the only thing. We cannot take a lightning and show it to him, or the sun or the moon. Little lamp, this, how can it shine, or that great experience? Meaning, a person who has thus realized, he says, enlightenment. So then light, why my light is something you cannot shine. Tatra su, in Tamil means my. Okay, so those who are wondering what is happening here. Tatra na surya bhati, chandraha bhati, tarakam na bhati, vidyutaha na bhanti, ima vidyutaha. These things cannot. Kutaha ayam agnihi. Why it is so? It is because he is sarva avabhasakaha. It is the one which shines everything. In other words, do we know anything when we have shut down all our senses and the mind and intellect and body? Even if the world is around us, do we know? Why? Because the light of consciousness is what illumines everything outside. When there are only objects, inert objects, and there is no living being, how do you prove that there is world? The experience of the world is possible only when there is an experiencer illumined by that consciousness. Many people told me that I have a dark patch on my back. No, I don't have, but let us say if they have. But how do I know? By my own eyes will I know it? I have not seen it. You can take a picture and show it to me. You can put a picture and put a darker color and then give it to me. But really it is there or not? If I have not seen, meaning if my consciousness has not come in direct contact with that, how will I know? Therefore, tam eva bhantam, that alone while shining, sarvam vibhati. Everything else shines. When that shines, everything else shines. When that consciousness is there, everything comes to be known. Shine here means known. Bha, to know. Bhati, bhaskaraha, one who is make you know, is called Bha Karaha Bhaskaraha. That is sun. So, sameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, and because of whose shine alone, everything else is able to reflect that consciousness. Like our own intellect is considered as the most close presence to the consciousness, and because of which it comes to have that notion, I know. Atmanasachidamshasya vritte buddhehe vrittiridi dvayam sanyojya cha avivekena janami iti pravartate. In Atmavota, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, the vritti and consciousness, the thought and the consciousness come together and reveals anything. And the thought in the intellect associated with consciousness alone is capable of revealing anything. But the intellect, without acknowledging the presence of consciousness, it thinks it is its own power, sanyojya avivekena. Due to that lack of discrimination, janami iti pravartate buddhi. The buddhi takes this credit to itself, I know. And this very intellect, which it not acknowledging the presence of consciousness because of which it is able to know, arrogating itself as the knower, comes to say, because of me alone mind is functioning, because of me alone the body is functioning and the senses are able to see, therefore I am. That is called ego. The ego is none other than the ownership the intellect takes upon itself without acknowledging the consciousness for knowing anything. And therefore, realization takes place when this needs to be separated from consciousness, meaning vritti is to be seen as only a temporary ability to know. That ability to know is provided by that consciousness. Just like if you take an iron ball and put it in fire, after some time the iron ball look like a ball of fire. Taptaya asa pindavat. That one iron ball, it appears to be a round fire, but how long? In the lathe they use it for the sake of beating up anything, etc. with the fire. But the fire is also there, temporarily there in that iron ball. After some time, it starts slowly losing and it becomes a black, cold iron ball again. In the proximity of it, it appears to be a fire, but not otherwise. Therefore, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Because of consciousness alone, sarvamidam, all these things are only a reflection of that light. Even sun. Yad adityagatam tejaha jagat bhasayate akilam yad chandramasi yadcha agno tat tejaha vidhi mamakam. That which is shining in the sun as brilliance, that which is there in the moon, that which is there in the fire, understand it is me. Krishna says, that's my presence that is making it all brilliantly shine. So that's end the section. Iti Kathopanishad Dvitiya Adhyaye Panchami Valli. Now this next section, that's the last one, which is again where we are. Coming to our condition, we are in this world of plurality. And this world is seen to be of an independently active and present. Karyasya guna nischaye karanasya swarupa avadharanam. This is where Shankaracharya begins. Karyasya guna nischaye. When we understand the characteristics of the effect, we can comprehend the nature of the cause. Because cause is not directly visible to us. So when we see the plurality, the prakriti, karyasya guna nischaye karanasya avadharanam bhavati. In the same way, here in this context, samsara lakshana nischaye brahmanaha swarupa avadharanam. Understand the nature of samsara, then you know what is the support of that. To show that what we are seeing, this world, and this world is considered as upside down tree. When we go to any house which is, quite a long traditional house, you will see there, what do you call that, family tree. Nowadays they are also answering ancestor. Want to find out who are their ancestors. Better don't know, it will go up to monkey. Anyway, so you will be very frustrated. Now here you will see that the creation is what we see here as what it is right now. If you go back and keep on going, actually the moolam is above and branches are below. Even in an organization, it says CEO, CFO, Chartered Fraud Officer, and CFO there. Then, yeah. And then you have other than accountant, manager, whatever it is. It's coming down. Right? So, moolam is above, then branches are below. This is exactly what is the world. So, here it's a famous verse again, without paying any copyright, Vyasa had taken it, lifted it, and put it in 15th chapter. A little bit change because he just want to make sure that it looks creative. Urdhva moolamavakshakaha eshoshvatha sanatanaha tadeva shukram tad brahma tadevamritamuchyate tasmin lokashrita sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etat vaitat moolam urdhvam. Moolam, the root, is urdhvam, above. Karanam ityartha. Moolam is karanam. Karanam is urdhvam. Urdhvam of two way, above and also before. Purvam ityartha. Purvam urdhvam moolah. Avak, coming down. Avak. Ava means anything that is of the lower nature or coming down. Shakaha. Shakaha also, the branch. Yeshaha, this Ashwattaha Sanatana. Interesting. The word Ashwatha means Shwa means tomorrow. Stha means Tishtati. Ashwatha means tomorrow it doesn't stay like this. That's called the world. But eternally it is like this. It is not the same, continuously changing. Shwaha na staha, Ashwastaha. It is not the same yesterday in the same way as it is today, and it will not be the same way tomorrow. That is called Ashwatha. And this and constantly changing thing is there, Sanatana. It is, Gurudev say, a constant flux of time and space is the nature of this world. So, this is a beautiful verse because I will just quickly tell you how Shankaracharya comes such a poetic way, as we saw in the poetic before, Samsashad, Vayusad, Antarikshasad, similarly here. He gives 21 different explanations for this tree. I am going to go through quickly. First of all, Aneka Anartha Atmakaha. First of all, this is of the nature of Aneka Anartha, Janma Maranadi Swarupaha. It is this, that tree, this is called the world, is of the nature of continuous birth and death. That is what is called Ashwatha. In a tree, think about a tree which is constantly changing. The leaves go away in another few days, not here, but if you go to East Coast, color, the change, anything who changes color will depart. They understand that. So leaves, they are leaves. Because why they are called leaves? Because they leave. Actually, they are leaves. Okay, anyway. Padati iti patram. So it falls. Pratikshanam anyata swabhavaha. Every moment it changes. Pratikshanam anyata swabhavaha. Second. Third. Drishtanashta swabhavaha. As even you look at it, it will disappear. The way you look at it is not the way it is. That is what is called drishtanashta. Because the way I look at it is not the way you look at it and somebody else looked at it. Drishtanashta swabhava. When you inquire, it is like mirage. It looks like it is there. You go and inquire, it is not be there. Marumarichikavat. And abhavatmakaha, at some point of time, it just disappears. When unmanifestation takes place, somebody cuts the tree, it is no more. Abhavatmakaha. Then he says, Nissaraha, essenceless. Kadali Gaprabhavat is very beautifully. Plant and tree. You open a plant and tree, there is one layer. Open that, another layer. Open that, another layer. Open that, and then finally you say there is nothing. No sense, no essence at all. It's like, you open onion also. One opening. Now what is there inside? So one person says, if you if you open the onion under water, you will not cry. So that fellow asks, how do I breathe? Oh, stupid, put the onion under the water, not yourself. Anyway. Pakanda buddhi ashraya. It leads everybody to have many doubts and many variegated, contradictory opinions about everything. Pakanda buddhi ashraya. 6. 7. Tattva jignasubihi nirdharitaha. By those who are seeking the truth, it is very clearly known as a constant change. Parabrahma Moola Saraha. It is having Parabrahma as Moola Sara. The essence of that is, essence of the whole creation is determined by the Moola, which is the one which is giving life to it. Like a root gives the life. Avyakta Bija Prabhavaha. It is the seed of this is from Avyakta. It is Ajnana Prakriti Maya. Apara Brahma Vijnana Kriya Shakti Hiranyagarbhanguraha. The sprout is Hiranyagarbha, which is Apara Brahma. It has two aspects, Vijnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Sarvesam Sukshma Shariraha Skandaha. Its trunk of this tree is the Sukshma Sharira, or the subtle body of all beings put together is the trunk of this tree. Trishna Jala Avasekam Udbhuda Tarpaha. It is being continuously grown with the sprinkling of water called desires of all people. Vasana of everybody put together makes this Prakriti so proudly present there, strongly present there. Vishaya Pravala Ankuraha. All the objects of the world are considered as the secondary, the smaller sprouts that is coming up there. Shruti, Smriti, Ityadi, Phalashaha. The leaves are nothing but Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa. All these are all the various leaves that are there. Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Kriyaha, Supushpaha. Beautiful flowers that are there are the rituals, and then charity, and then tapas. All the beautiful flowers there. Sukhadukkadi aneka rasaha. Out of which comes the beautiful fruits, in which there are different kinds of tastes, joy, sorrow, success, failure, etc. Aneka prani upajivya ananta palaha. So it gives sustenance for many, many living beings or birds, for example, to live in that very place itself. Then, Trishna Salila Avaseka Druda Baddha Moolaha. Now, in a case of a Ashwatha tree, the branches come and become the secondary roots. It sustains like that. So they are all nothing but the various kinds of desires entertained by the individuals in this world. Then, Satyadi Saptalokaha Brahmadi Bhuta Pakshi Krida Nidaha. The nests are nothing but various kinds of lokas created from Brahmaloka onwards, many other different lokas created by the Pakshis. By those who are living birds there, they create those nests, various nests inside that. This is beautiful. Then, in those very nests, there are birds which are making so much of aravam. Aravam means sound, especially early morning. And those people who are making noise, ha ha, hu, muncha muncha, ityadi. They're dancing and shouting and celebrating, and some people are crying because somebody departed, somebody is dancing at the same time on the other side. Everybody is making either enjoying or suffering and crying and laughing and dancing and music and aha, muncha muncha, ityadi, aneka shabta, shabtakrita tumuli bhuta maharavaha. It's like a tumultuous sound that is coming from all the various living beings there. And finally, Brahma Atma Aikya Darshana Rupa Asanga Shastra Uchcheda. Finally, this tree can be felled only when Brahma Atma Aikya Jnana Darshana Rupa Asanga Shastrena Dradena Chitva. In Gita, that's how it's come. Asanga Shastrena Dradena Chitva Tada Padam Tat Parimargidavyam. Finally, one can reach there only when the Asanga Shastra, meaning the weapon called detachment alone can finally cut this tree. So this tree is thus called the tree of life. Prakriti Vriksha. Prakriti Vriksha. So here, Tadeva Shukram, this we have seen. Tadeva Shukram, that alone is the pure Tad Brahma. Tad eva amrutam uchyate, that is called immortal. Tasmin, in that Brahmani, lokaha shritaha sarve, all the worlds are enshrined in that. Tadu na atyedi kaschana, nobody crosses that. This we have seen before also. This is a repeat from 5 point, the previous chapter, 8th verse has talked about that. Then, continuing, yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prana ejati nisrutam mahadbayam vajramudyatam ya etat vidura amrutasto bhavanti. Amrutaste bhavanti. Whatever is there in this world, yadidam kincha jagat, whatever you call it as a jagat, Gurudev calls it as jagat is what? Jayate, gacchati, tishtati iti jagat. Jayate, born. Gacchati, goes. Between that, tishtati. That which is constantly born, constantly going, in between, apparently looks like it is existing. And you would say, jaga, 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 jaga. It shines as though it is so real. By the time you catch it, it's gone. Ididam kincha jagat sarvam, whatever is there as this word, prane ejati. Prane, in this Brahmani, which is for that the very life force, ejati, kampati, throbs, vibrates, is present. Nisrutam jatam. In this very word, which is considered to be the most vibrating presence, is prane. It is there in the Brahman only as rooted. And how is that? Planets are there, sun is shining, and all other things are going on as though programmed. If you look at your own body also, many things are already programmed. Without your interruption. Thank God you don't interrupt. His heart is functioning because you are thinking about it. If you think about it, it will stop. So it is functioning as though it is all, wound. Just like a clock when you are winding up on earlier times, every 1 week or something. And towards the end of that, when it is full, jing, 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 tick, 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 tick. Somehow it maintains its balance there. So how long it is wound? And how long it will be going on? As though it is all, everything is programmed within yourself. If you look at the microcosmic, anyway, micro or macro, both the world outside is also programmed as though everything is functioning. Sun is rising, Vayu is moving about, water is flowing, and we are unnecessarily disturbing the very balance. But otherwise, everything, the seasons change, rain is there, the fall and the summer and the winter. Everything is as though working under the rule of someone. That's why he says, Mahad Bayam Vajramudyatam. Out of fear for that Lord who is standing there with his weapon in his hand. Shankaracharya writes, just like a householder, when wanting to make the servants work, You just have to stand there. Keep doing what you are supposed to do. In the same way, Mahad Bhayam, out of fear. Here the fear is not out of feeling punished, out of respect. Mahad Bhayam Vajramudyatam, as though holding a weapon in his hand. Etat viduhu amritaah te bhavanti. Those who know that that which is happening there outside as a phenomenal world continuously working without any rest. Without any rest. That is very important. When does the sun take rest? One day, Sunday, let me not come. No? Arey, why Sunday is the most thing. Everybody is out and then sun has to be there more. No rest. Without any rest. Continuously working. So, this avishrantam vartate. Vishranta means rest. Avishrantam vartate jagat. Because of what? Ishvara bhayat. Because of the fear of the Lord. Here the fear should not be taken as like the way we understand fear as, when you do out of fear, then if it is not there, you won't do it. But if you respect, then you know that whether he is there or not, we will do our work. So that is what is there. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is beautifully said, Bhishasmat vatapavate bhishadude disuryah bhishad agnischa indrascha mrityurdhavati panchama iti. And the same verse is put in Bhisha, instead of Bhisha, they put Bhaya. So I think those sadhus also copyright, they also have, without paying any copyright. What is copyright? Right to copy, that's called copyright. Without paying any kind of compensation. Straight away they have lifted it from each other. Bhayadasyagnistapati. Bhayat tapati suryah. Bhayad indrascha vayuscha. Mrityurdhavati panchamah. 5 things are here. 5th one is Mrityuhu, he himself. Dhavati runs. He cannot just slowly go. One death here, go, run, there's another one. Go there and another one. Dhavati. So, Bhayat, due to that fear, respectful fear, Agnihi tapati. The fire is burning there. Bhayat Suryaha tapati. Because of the fearful respect alone, sun is shining there. Bhayat Indrascha. Indra also engaged in action out of fear. Indra, who is doing the action through all of us. Our own karma indriyas are none other than Indra's equipment. Things are happening here because of the presence of Indra, who is, that's why in the morning we say what? Karakre Varade Lakshmi. But the whole Kara is because of Indra. Indra is the presiding deity of the hand. And Vishnu is the presiding deity of the feet. So, therefore, entire creation vibrating with activities, Indra. Vayuhu, meaning prana. Vayuscha. Mrityuhu, end of karmas. All these are working tirelessly out of fearful respect or respectful fear towards the Lord. In other words, whatever is happening outside, whatever is happening within, has the same controller who is making it happen. And that is the perception of a person who, when he knows that, such an individual, amrita te bhavati, te amrita bhavanti, those they know. Now, if you don't realize this, caution, what will happen to you? And if you realize that, what is the result of it? Here, iha chetashakat bodhum praksharirasya vistrasah tadas sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. iha, here, in this very human birth, because of which alone you are able to read this verse. If you are a dog or a cat or a buffalo or a bird, you would not be even reading this. So, iha means iha, Narajanmani, in this very human birth, bodhum ashakat. If you have already, before the fall of the body, you are in this very able, ashakat means if you are able to, na shakat nahi, ashakat means have realized. This bodhum ashakat, if you are realized in this very world, in this very life, before what? Sharirasya vistarasaha prak. Before the fall of this body. Visrasaha means departing from each other. Visrasaha means breaking up or departing from each other, falling, failing. Before the fall of the body, Visrasaha, Prag, before that, then Jivan Muktaha Bhavati, Padanat, Maranat, Prag, then Samsarat Muktaha Bhavati. If you are not, Tataha, what will happen? Sargeshu Lokeshu. In this, Sarga means Srij, continuous subject to subject, constant creation. Lokeshu, in worlds, not only in this world, in various possible worlds, Shariratvaya Kalpate, you will be fit for only further taking another body. Unfortunately. So, here in this world, who told you that you will come back to the same world? Here the world does not mean physical world. The world means the field of experience. We are in the Manushya field of experience. In this very world itself, there is another world parallelly. Many worlds are there parallelly. Cockroach world. You are not even familiar with that. Once in a while you meet, that fellow has gone. That fellow is also afraid of you. We are meeting in the same world, but you are in a different world and I am in a different world. They are all aliens actually. Actually, we are aliens to them. They are the original residents. Birds, dogs, buffaloes, other things, animals, wild animals, trees, plants. So many things are there. Their field of experience is totally different. If you say very word loka, the very word means luch. Lokyate. Lokyate. That which is seen, perceived. What which you perceive, that which you perceive is called lochana. When you think about it, it's lochana. So, therefore, what is the world? That which we happen to perceive. So, what we perceive is not the other living beings perceive. And they are in a different way of perceiving things. A bat can listen to or go about without even having eyes, is it not? No eyes, but they are perfectly, they move. Why? Sound. And their ability of creating the sound and reflecting that and knowing that what is coming, they know actually as though there is a form there. They have a, their equipment is so beautifully programmed, send the signal of sound and they know exactly where to go. They have their own world. So, when it says Sargeshu Lokeshu, one meaning is that various different worlds or many lives you take. Shariratvaya kalpate, na amritatvaya. Not for immortality, but only for more and more and more and birth only. In Kathopanishad also is beautifully said. Ihacheda vedi tatasatyamasti nachediha vedi mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu bhuteshu vijitya dhiraha predya asma lokat amrita bhavanti. In this very world only if you realize, good. If you don't, I am very sorry. What can we do? Ihached avedit ata satyamasti. Nached iha avedin mahati vinashtihi. Great indeed is unfortunate. So we have got that beautiful opportunity. And in the next verse he said, why in this life you should realize? Manushya janma. Enakena prakarena manushya swarupaha praptaha. Somehow we got a narajanma. Durlabham narajanmam. Anyway, it is very difficult to get. Jantunam narajanma durlabha. Tasmat Vaidika dharma parataha. All those things are given in the Vaivak Chodamani. This very birth itself is great. Now, if you don't make use of it, who can tell you anything further? But why in this birth? Why in this human birth? Now you see. Yata darshe tadatmani. Yata swapne tata pitruloke. Yatapsu pariva didrishe. Tata gandharvaloke. Chaya tapayoriva brahmaloke. If you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see? Your wonderful face. Adarshe, if you stand in front of the mirror, what you see is your own face. That much clearly you can see Brahman in this world. Yata adarshe tata atmani. Just like you see yourself in a mirror, how clearly, vivikta rupa, very clear form of yours you can see. Of course, it depends upon the mirror also. Convex or concave, you will be miserable. But in a properly made mirror, adarshe, the very word adarsha means that which makes you clearly see it. Drishyate. So, we can see clearly. So, Tata Atmani, in your own self, you can see Brahman that clearly in this very world. Pitruloke yata sopane. In the Pitruloka, you will be able to comprehend Atman like that of Swapna. In Swapna, you see, even while seeing, it is not that clear. Did you see the dream yesterday? Yes. What were you wearing? I was wearing something that I know. But I don't know how, what. See, details are not there. If after waking up I asked you, who were all there? So many. So what was he wearing? Unless you paid attention to that. One lady came back after the party, after husband and wife came back. So that lady, she was wearing such a, very attractive dress. Did you see that? Husband, which one? Thank God, you didn't see it. So, details, women are more particular. That is wearing. Why is he wearing now? Most of the women wear a dress so well only to irritate all other women. I can wear like this. Well, can you? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You didn't enjoy it. Swapne, in this dream, how? Because of their, why? Karma phala upabhoga karanat. Jagradavasthayam yadrishtam. Whatever is seen in the Jagradavastha or the waking state, that itself is reflected in the Swapna state, the state of Swapna. Swapna means Swayam Apna. So, created on your own. So, in that very world, things are not that clear. It's not, details are not there. You may see, but details are not available. So, in that way, in Pitruloka, because of the Karma Phala Bhoga, you will not be able to consistently see it because of the overwhelming influence of Karma Phalas, result of your actions. In the case of Gandharva Loka, kya bataun? Go to Disneyland, Universal Studios, dancing and music, and then there's pizza and then eating. Your mind is completely gone in that entertainment only. No enlightenment, only entertainment there. So, yata apsu pariva didrishe, just like you look at your reflection in a running water. Will you see it? It will be there, but it will be constantly moving. It is, you will see, but is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Pariva means the parameters are not clear. Demarcation is not clear. in Gandharva Loka. Gandharva Loka means where people of music and dance and all sort of entertainment going on in the Gandharva Loka, Deva Loka. And there, obviously, as before, Nachiketa also asked, right? Gandharva Loka is where? Where there is no old age, there is no hunger, there is no thirst. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchana asti na tatratvam na jaraya bibedi. There is not you, O death. Nobody is afraid of old age. And there is actually no age because physical body is not there. And so constant entertainment. In that world, will you be able to comprehend the truth? No. In this life, in this human birth, it is like seeing yourself in a reflection as a mirror, clear. In Pitraloka, it is like a dream. In Gandharva Loka, it is reflection on the water. But in Brahma Loka, Chaya tapayoriva Brahma Loke, like a shadow and light. Chaya, shadow. Tapaha, light. Clear. Atyanta viviktam. Very clear, intensely clear. There is no doubt at all. Why jana mushkil hai. अरे बाबा सो ब्रह्मलोक जाके करेंगे ना अरे यहाँ नहीं करे हो तो वहाँ कैसे करेंगे if you have not studied here in Chinmaya Mission Hall you have not studied so you are going to do all the various karmas and upasana and then maybe you will be taken to Brahmaloka. There maybe Brahma is interested in you, maybe you are still interested, maybe your mind is pure, all and only when the last day of Brahma only will teach you. That will be zillions of years. Yaha karo. Ihaiva, here itself. So you have got already opportunity as human being. Why are you not using? How do you know that you will go to Brahmaloka? It doesn't look like. So better get it done here itself. Don't wait for something to happen tomorrow. And how do you then, in this very world, tasmat atma darshanaya prayatnam iha eva kuryat. Therefore, put effort to realize that here itself. There are two things. Katam, how do we do that? And secondly, if I do it, or why do we need to do this here itself? So it is said here, Indriyanam pratak bhavam udayastamayo chayat pratak utpatyamananam matva dhiro na shochati. Indriyanam pratak bhavam. First of all, understand every sense organ has got distinct features. Pratak. Pratak means different from each other. Bhavam. Guna ityartha. Each one has got separate characteristics. Eyes can do only this, ears can do only this, which means what? They are not complete by itself. They are not complete by itself. They depend upon something else for itself. Number one, Udayaha Astamayaha. Udaya means they rise up sometime when we wake up. Then that very thing is not there in the state of swapna or in the state of deep sleep. Astamayo chayat. So there are also they are also subject to rise and fall. Udaya astamayo chayat. And pratak utpadyamananam, meaning they are born out of each distinctly from its own cause. From akasha shabda. Shabda, for shabda it is ears. From the vayuhu it is sparsha, for that the skin. From the fire, from the agnehe chakshuhu, from chakshu came from the agni tattva, for seeing, darshanartmakam. Then from the water, abdaha, from the water came the tongue for taste, and then from prathivi, grana. for the sake of that smell in the nose. So each one of them have come distinctly from its own cause, different causes. Therefore, there is no common characteristic in any one of them. Having understood this, therefore, any experience that we come to know about the world also decided by the senses which report to you. Correct? If the sense organ is not effectively functioning to the extent, I don't know about that world. If a person's eyesight is not right, his world of perception will come to suffer to that extent. So the experience of the world is decided by the condition of the senses, and each one of them having independent. So composite whole ekatva is not possible when we only use the senses to realize the truth. And they also, as we have seen, only take you extrovert. Paran chikani vidranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. So therefore, Matva, having understood, whatever be the report or whatever be the experience as reported by or brought in by the sense organs may make you happy or unhappy, Matva dhiraha na shochati. The man of knowledge would not take them for real or as important. He will respond but never get to become a victim of what is perceived by the senses or merely thought about, imagined by the mind. And that's why here he brings back the same idea which is said earlier, which is what again Gita also restates. Indriyebhya param manah manasas sattvam Sattvat adimahanatma mahato vyaktamuttamam avyaktattu parapurushaha vyapako linga evacha yam jnatva muchyate jantuhu amrutatvam chagachati. There it is said, Indriyebhya parahi artaha artebhyascha param manah manasastu para buddhihi buddheratma mahan paraha mahata param avyaktam avyaktat purusha paraha purushanna param kinchid sa kashta sa paragatihi. So there it said Indriyebhya parahi artaha artebhyascha param manah. So here taking into the consideration only the inner part of it, Indriyebhya, then the sense organs, param, higher, manah, mind, closer and more pervasive. Manasastu sattvam buddhihi. Sattvam here to be under sattva saddhena buddhi richate. Sattvam uttamam. Greater than that, uttamam is param ityartha, then the mind is the buddhi. Sattvat buddhya, from the buddhi, buddhehe adhi, greater, mahan, total intellect, mahat tattva, mahataha, then the total intellect, avyaktam, maya, that is prakriti. Avyakta means unmanifest, law, the power of the Lord. Maya avyaktam uttamam. Avyaktattu para purushaha. The purushaha, the Paramatma, is greater than the Maya, the Prakriti. And that one Purusha is alinga evacha. Vyapakaha alinga. Linga means lingyate gamyate iti anena. Linga means an icon, a symbol through which you go, through which you understand, through which you recognize. It is not that which is, but it is an indicator. Like this is an indicator. Gurudev say, Brahman is not at the end of this. Brahman, Swamiji, where exactly it is? So, it is only an indicator. Look there. Where? No, there you look. Don't look at the end of the stick. Don't stick to this. Anyway, so linga is a symbol. So, this is Vyapakaha alinga. It is not just another symbol. It is not something which is present in a conditioned manner. It is alinga eva saha. It is not a particular form or anything. Arupaha, nirakaraha ityartaha. Why it is also sarvakaranatva tabi. It is the very cause of even akasha. The akasha itself does not have any particular dimension. It is the karana of akasha. Then tasmat va etasmat akasha sambhutah akashat vayuhu ayo agni agnirapah agyapradavi in Taittiriya Upanishad. Yam nyatva, having known which, jantuhu muchyate. Jantuhu, we are all jantu only. Creatures. We are all creatures. Jantuhu muchyate. An individual realizes what? Amrutatvam cha gacchati. Then only the realization of immortality. It is not immortality is gained, immortality is realized. Just like a pot, conditioned by its own thinking, it is only a pot space. When it realizes that it is part of the Bhuta Akasha, then it does not need to break that pot structure. While being there, it realizes this Maha Akasha Swarupa. In the same way, Jivan Mukti is where one does not need to leave the body to do those, to realize that Amrutatvam. Continuing here, Snasandrishe tishtati rupamasya na chakshusha pashyati kaschanainam Hrita manisha manasa viklipto ya etad viduram amrutaste bhavanti asya rupam, the form of this great reality, na sandrishe tishtati, na darshana vishaye tishtati. It is not a form that is available for us to perceive. Na chakshusha pashyati, not as an object, as a form, not even as something which is known through the eyes. Kaschana enam, enam na chakshusha pashyati. No one can see it with the eyes. So, when even though the example is given that looking at the mirror, the interesting thing is that when you look at the mirror and see your form, is mirror a support of your form? Huh? Oh, mirror chala gaya, main kahan gaya? When your mirror is taken, I disappeared. Is it so? The mirror is not the support of your form. Mirror is supporting your reflection. That is why Buddhi is also considered as a reflecting media only. Why it is called reflecting media? Because through which alone we come to comprehend its presence as though part of the intellect, though it is not. Just like the light is reflected in a mirror does not mean the light belongs to that mirror. Mirror was only a reflection. Similarly, Buddhi is a reflection of consciousness, not consciousness. When we realize that even in the sleep, when Buddhi is not there, reflection is not there, consciousness is still present. And that is the reason why, as a thought form, we don't understand consciousness in sleep. Now, when we are awake, we are able to comprehend the consciousness as thought form. I am so and so, I am angry, I am upset, I am hungry, it's already 8:04. So, that people are already keeping from. Sometimes you may wonder, is it moving at all or not? So, Buddhi is only a reflection. It has the ability to reflect. So, therefore, chakshusha na pashyati kaschanayenam. Then, hritstha hrida, manisha manasa. Manisha, manasa hai isha, idya. Idya means, ishta means that the ruler. Manisa hai ishta, that is buddhya. Manasa, with the pure mind, abhikliptaha, prakashitaha. with the intellect which is the ruler of the mind, with the mind which is pure, it is seen to be shining there. Ye etat viduhu, those who understand this, amritaha te bhavanti. Realizing that these reflected consciousness is brilliantly shining through the intellect with the help of the pure mind, one who realizes within oneself, such a person becomes ready for the realization of the immortality. Knowing that even as the buddhi, manaha, indriyani, sarvam, all of them are discarded, that remains unaffected, which is what you asked Nachiketa, is there or not? It is. So therefore, in the next verse he says, this is for samadhi sthiti. What is the samadhi avastha? It is beautifully given here. Yada panchapatishtante jnanani manasa saha buddhischana vicheshtati tamahu paramam gatim. This is a beautiful explanation about how to get into samadhi. In Ashtanga Yoga also, what is given? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyanam, Samadhi. Right? So, Yama, Niyama are external, internal adjustments, and then Asanam, the steady posture, Pranayama, that is control of the breath. Then comes Dharana. Dharana means withdrawal there. Slowly withdrawal. Pratyahara withdrawal. Dharana is also considered as withdrawn state of concentration. Dhara means flow. In dhara, flow of consciousness without any interruption. With interruption is what we are doing right now. Sajadiya vritti pravaha vijadiya tiraskridanantaram sajadiya. Variety of thoughts that are going there, that is having been reduced, putting it in one point of attention. So here, where even sajadiya vritti pravaha is also ended, where the thought has ended. What is that? Yada, yasmin kale, when that time, pancha avatishtante. Pancha means jnanendriyani pancha, avatishtante, they reside, subside, jnanani pancha. So, the 5 organs of perception, obviously karmendriyani is understood there. And manasa saha, along with the mind. So, where the sense organs of action along with the sense organs of knowledge have subsided along with the mind, meaning no thought to instigate the mind is anymore. अंदर से कोई बाहर, बाहर से कोई अंदर, both. Outside nobody can come inside, inside nobody can go outside. सोचो कभी ऐसा हो तो क्या हो? खोज गया, चाबी खो लिया, not खोली, what is it? चाबी खोजा. So the chabi that is called, the desire is also lost. Buddhischa na vicheshtati. Buddhi also is not oscillating. What is oscillation of buddhi? है ही नहीं. कोई है? अरे कोई है? That is the question buddhi has. As that later on you would say, unless you have the firm thing, it is, you will not be able to proceed further. Asamshaya buddhi. Buddhi na vicheshtati, na vichalati. Tam, that state, tam sthitim, ahuhu paramam gatim. That is considered as the supreme goal of samadhi. While the karmendriyani sayamya, yasne manasa saha indriyartan mudatma mityachar. You may control the organs of action, but the mind is running, then you are a hypocrite. Karmendriyani pancha, jnanendriyani pancha, manasa saha, buddhim chana vicheshtati, tam sthitim ahuhu paramam gatim iti. It looks simple. When you sit there, even few seconds you cannot do that. Few seconds, not to forget about minutes, seconds. I think somebody is noticing me, I am getting into samadhi. A coffee will be better. I can go deeply into that. Not into coffee, but into. What is for breakfast? I think it is too hot now. Every possible way the mind want to distract you will do it. Like a Rakshasa standing there. How dare you try to conquer me? I have been there with you for a long time, many births, and you are trying to conquer me? How dare? So it's as though like a gigantic evil standing there to just make sure that you don't get in. Because when you thus come to comprehend the reality, the mind will have to be, will go, it will not be there. It won't invite its own suicide. And stand there watching you. Come on, get up. What are you sitting there? Arey, अगली जन्म है ना? This जन्म में क्यों करते हो तुम? I think you are very old for this. All sort of things. Either it will say you are very old, you are too young to do these things. You are only 70, too young to do it. Only when you are 90 you do it. Arey, aap grahastha ho? Why are you doing? You are grahastha, you are not a sannyas, you don't do it. Your own people also would say. So you sit there, try to sit there. Kya? Sannyas ban gaya? Anything. It will not, in 100 different ways it will come to distract you. Yata panchavatishtante jnanani manasa saha buddhim chane vicheshtati tamahu paramam gatim. That is called yoga. Tam yogamidi manyante stiram indriyadharanam apramastastada bhavati yogo hi prabhavapyayau. That is, according to Vedanta, is yoga. Not just standing upside down, twisting the body in different ways. As Gurudev was asked this question, Swamiji, are you interested in yoga? Yes. Not in twisting the body, but straightening the mind. That yoga where the mind and body, buddhi subsides completely. Tam yogamidi manyante, where stiram indriyadharanam. Stiram, steady. Indriyadharanam, steady withdrawal and subsidence of the senses completely. As we have seen in the earlier part of this only, that yached vang manasi prajna, tat yached, forgot, yached, take, merge, what? Vak manasi. Tat yached jnana atmani, jnanam atmani, tat yached shanta atmani. So here, tam yogamidi manyante, where complete subsidence, stiram indriya dharanam, total subsidence of the senses there. Tata apramattaha bhavati, apramattaha, unerroneous, undeterring, faultless, without any kind of slip, that's what, alert, becomes extremely vigilant. Vigilance comes because of the buddhi continuously watching over the movement of the senses and bringing it. Yato yato nischarati manas chanchalam astiram tatastato niyamya etad atmanyeva vasham nayet. Bring it back. That is called apramatta. Pramatta means subject to erring, subject to fault, apramatta tada bhavati. Why? Because yoga in general is prabhava apyaya. Happens, comes down. Happens, comes down. So in usual understanding as what? Yoga is defined as cessation of thoughts. Right? This cessation of thoughts, when it is done as an external control, how long you can hold on to it? If anything you are holding on for some, after some time you get tired and lose it, right? So here the control is not like externally controlling it to hold, it is withdrawal. It is not control. Control and withdrawal has two different connotations, right? Control is you externally put a pressure to make it happen. Withdrawal is internally you pull it out. You take out the energy that is coming for the senses. Take out the very pushing factor called desire that makes you go towards objects. It's not stopping the objects coming to you. Your senses have no more interest in going there. Because stopping the objects, after some time you may go again for that. As Krishna would put it there, merely Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasobhyasya param drishtva nivartati. Merely external control will be temporary. Whereas if you are able to remove the very vasana for that, then obviously that is called indriya sthiti dharana. So very steadily you withdraw. Naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyo na chakshusha astiti bruvatoonyatra katam tat upalabhyate etat vaitat. You're just repeating what I said, it's not there. Just wanting to make whether you are alert or not. Anyway. Apramatto bhava. Naiva vacha. It cannot be said to be explained through speech. Na manasa shaktum praptum shakya. By speech you cannot. By mind you cannot. Earlier you said manasa aptam shakya. What is this, Swami? Manasa eva idam aptam. You just said that. Now you're saying na manasa praptam shakya. Meaning, it is not possible for as an objective reality, either can be seen nor it can be thought of. Na chakshusha drashtum shakyate, na vacha vaktum shakyate, manasa jnatum na shakyate. Then how do we, finally what is it? He says, you need to go to a person who clearly says asti. Only one who has experience with no doubt about it. Asti iti bruvataha. I will explain this after your break. Asti iti bruvataha. One who confirms it very affirmatively, it is. Anyatra katam tadupalabhyate. How do otherwise you know it? If somebody is asking, a lady was pregnant, are you pregnant? Sort of. What do you mean by that sort of? Hai? Nahi hai. Are you pregnant? Sort of. It cannot be sort of. Similarly, you go to a Mahatma and said, is reality is there, Brahman is there? Sort of. What do you mean by sort of? One who is able to clearly say it is. And that astitva is not a mere imagination. It is not he imagined it to be there, but he can logically prove it to be it is. The logic is used only for the sake of convincing the intellect of the Shishya, only to make him proceed to see it himself. That will be stated there later. We'll have a break and come back on this subject matter. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.